Good morning, everyone. Boker Tov. I'll never forget in February of this year when we went on a mission to Israel to go visit the hostages that were just released from captivity. And we came to the apartment of Keith and Aviva Siegel, who were both abducted and taken hostage on October 7th. Aviva was released a few months later, but Keith had just been released a few weeks earlier in February after 14 months in captivity. And we sat in his apartment with his son and two daughters. And one of the things that Keith told us that has now become known throughout the world was that in captivity, he had grown up and lived on a kibbutz. He was a very secular Jew. But in captivity, suddenly his heart wanted to connect with God. But he only knew one prayer, and that was Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. And so there in captivity, every morning and every night, he would say that verse as a proud Jew. This past week's Torah portion had the first paragraph of the Shema. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. And the first paragraph, V'yahavta, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your might, and with all your soul. This week's Torah portion, Ekev, has the second paragraph of the Shema, which one Hashem. And the Alter Rebbe in the book of Tanya says, how can the Shema command us to love God? A love is a feeling, it's an emotion. Either you love or you don't love. How can you be commanded to love? And Alter Rebbe says, the answer is in the question. Precisely. You see, you could only be commanded to love because you do have love in your heart. And therefore the commandment is not to create love for God, because every Jew loves God. It's to reveal that love, to express that love, to take that spark of love and fan it into a flame. Because as the Alter Rebbe says in the book of Tanya, every Jew has ahava misuteret, a concealed love. And therefore the commandment is not to create love, but to just reveal it. As the famous story of Michelangelo, when he made the sculpture of Moses, someone said, it's amazing that you took a slab of stone and you made this beautiful sculpture of Moses. And Michelangelo said, I didn't create Moses in the stone, from the stone. Moses was already in the stone. Moses was encased in the stone. I just chipped away and revealed the Moses from within the stone. And so too, the commandment to love God in the Shema is to reveal that love that's already embedded in your heart. And this idea is so perfectly illustrated in the story of Keith Siegel. Here is a Jew who lived his whole life as a secular Jew. He didn't realize how much love he had for God, but it's precisely in captivity that love came out, and he wanted to express it for the first time in his life, but he only knew one verse of prayer from the whole Torah, from all the prayers, because he had never prayed in his life, and suddenly that love came out. Well, there's a happy ending to the story, because before October 7th, his daughter Shiri, who we met in the apartment, a tall, beautiful young girl, was engaged to Yuval. But she made a vow, I will not get married till my mother and father come home to walk me down the aisle. And finally, thank God, first her mother and then her father was released from captivity. And this past Thursday night, in the most joyous wedding, Keith and Aviva walked their daughter down to the chuppah. And everyone was wearing yellow ribbons. The bride, the groom, the chuppah had a big yellow ribbon for all the other hostages. Because while many from Kfar Aza were taken hostage, some are still sitting in captivity. And at the wedding, you saw the way all the hostages, who have now become one big family, including Emily Damari and others, were dancing together with the bride, with Shir. And they said a special additional 2 prayers under the chuppah. One was a prayer that all the hostages should come home. The second one was a prayer that the Jewish people should be united. And the bride, Shiri Siegel, posted a picture of her dancing with other hostages. And she said, this is victory. This is victory, to be able to dance in freedom. But the real final victory will come when all the hostages are released and we could all dance together. This is what the Shema says. Hashem is with us. Whether we feel it constantly or not, we know we love Hashem. We just have to reveal that love. And revealing that love is what unites us all as a Jewish people. Have a wonderful day.